What's going on, guys? Junior here with Custom Offsets TV on the YouTube. As you all know, we are known for selling aftermarket wheels and tires for your truck. Well, today I'm here to tell you the history that has led up to the current trends you see in the truck scene today and how people have been constantly reinventing the wheel. So if you want to go way back to the 20s, wire wheels were all the craze 100 years ago. Dayton was the name in wheels and had set a high quality standard in the auto industry. I'm not here to talk about 100-year-old wheels, but stick with me because it's all going to lead up to today's American Forces and 24x14s that are all over the gram. Daytons from way back when have always had their niche in the aftermarket wheel world, and I bet any car shows you go to nowadays will have a few styled rides rocking them. Specifically the lowriders on their hydros and scraping their rear bumpers as they drive down the road. Okay, let's fast forward a few 30 years. 1950s, hot rods and the first custom wheels started to emerge. Although they were limited due to low production, people found any ways possible to customize their wheels. Most of this was taken from other production wheels or hubcaps and center caps to make yours more unique. Pretty boring, right? Pretty soon, cars got faster and racing was more popular. Industry demands pushed for the first custom wider wheels. Faster cars needed wider tires in the rear, and that meant wider wheels were needed. Chrome reverse wheels started to become popular, and the first wider offset wheels were introduced, the first custom offsets. People would take their steel wheels and cut the centers out of them and then flip them to gain a huge lip, and they started the whole deep dish look. Pretty soon these were made chrome with big lips and sold to vehicles everywhere. Race cars and trucks alike started running aluminum wheels, and they became the cool style to run. A few years into the 60s, a name I'm sure a lot of you enthusiasts will recognize released their first wheel. 1964 was the year that Krager released their first and most iconic wheel, the Krager SS Mag, which set the aftermarket wheel market spinning. If you've ever seen a muscle car, I'm sure you've seen a set of these. Krager had many companies on their heels though, including American Racing, Keystone, and Astro. The Astro Supreme was one of Krager's biggest competitors, and no, this isn't the same Supreme that all of you paid $2,000 to own one of their hoodies for. Muscle cars of the late 60s started running staggered wheels, a jacked up rear end, big meats in the rear, and Parker Fuller's 2019 blooper reel! Whoa! Muscle cars of the late 60s started running staggered wheels, a jacked up rear end, big meats in the rear, and the horsepower to match. Also, SEMA was created during this time for the brand new and already fastly growing industry of the aftermarket mods for vehicles. But what about trucks? A company that I would almost consider the OGs of aftermarket truck wheels was established in 1967 and have snuck their way back into today's scene as well. Weld Racing. Weld dominated both the racing world and the truck market with aluminum wheels for everyone. The development of their wheels started with Greg Weld working the dirt racetrack. All of that driving in circles meant that right wheels, like the right side of the truck, had a lot of weight on them, and Weld developed a stronger, wider wheel meant to handle this and allow for a wider tire as well. And the best part, Weld reinvented the wheel out of his garage. Trucks started running these wide wheels as well, and the 15x14s with huge bogger tires look was born. These wheels had an insane lip and featured a step lip on these fully polished aluminum wheels. One of the most popular models in this style was the Weld Cheyenne. If you check out this wheel design, it really shows what's to come and kind of what's popular now in the truck scene. Defined spokes, a big flat lip, and all of that shiny polished aluminum. Kind of a foreshadowing of what was to come. For some reason, this look didn't seem to last long, and it seems like the late 20th century consisted of American racing on like every truck. These wheels had a flat face or some concavity, but like no real spokes. The classic bullet hole design also became super popular to run. Between the American Racing AR39 and the 8 bullet hole design, I'm not really sure which one I've seen on more K1500s and OBS Fords. And the other thing too is there's a bunch of companies with that like soft 8 or D window wheel. I'm not gonna list them all. Okay, maybe I'll try. So we got like Vision, Pro Comp, American Racing, Rebel Racing, Black Rock, Alloy Ion, Krager, Ultra. Okay, I'm done. That's just to mention a few of them, but fun fact quick before I get too off topic. In the last few years, American Force has released what they call the American Force Classic, which, as you can see from just looking at it, it pays homage to all of these classic bullet hole style wheels with the obvious American Force influence. CJ Dunlap has these on like his brand new Power Stroke dually, his OBS Ford, his side-by-side, his kid's Power Wheels, and he's probably running them on his damn vacuum cleaner too. These wheels in this style with the soft 8 or D window lasted into the beginning of the 21st century, and chrome or aluminum wheels were the popular color choice. Then a company came along that totally disrupted and changed what truck guys wanted to run on their rig. The little company XD Wheels, which had been growing slowly in popularity, dropped the original XD Series XD775 Rockstar in 2004. The chunky 5-spoke looked nothing like bullet hole wheels or American racing wheel styles at all, and everyone fell in love with them. People started running 18s instead of 16s, and as the years went on, XD also released these in a 20, and the start of today's truck scene emerged. It didn't have a lip to it. It was more of a rugged truck wheel with the extra bolts and huge star in the center cap. This wheel became so popular, you probably know somebody who has ran these on their truck at one point or another. Or on their car, because yeah, they were that popular that XD said f it and offered them for cars too. Of course, this was followed up by the Rockstar 2 and the 3 years later, but the original XD Rockstar holds its landmark on this track. This leads to many new companies emerging and offering new crazy styles with larger diameters that people began to fall in love with. Before this, there were maybe like 3 to 4 main wheel companies that people went to for aftermarket wheels. But in the early 2000s, companies like XD and Fuel Off-Road began to emerge and try their hand in the custom wheel game. Is this good? It's like both a good and a bad thing. Having only a few companies before meant that quality was in high demand. Not that it's not now, but back then, you were only one of 4 companies selling wheels and wanted to please your customers. I feel like wheel companies now can easily get lost in the sauce with how many companies and names are out there. Which one should I buy? Which are the best? Highest quality, coolest design, biggest name, overplayed, so many options leave people wondering which is the right one for them. And honestly, it's all up to you. Just about all of these wheels are made in the same factories in China with the same quality testing and materials behind them, and the style and design is up to you on what you want your build to look like. I digress. Sorry. So Fuel Off-Road. They're next on this magical journey through custom wheels. The Fuel Hostage was next to jump into the picture, offering an 18x10 and then an 18x12 was insane. 10 wides were the cool thing, and dudes running 12 wides were like out of this world, like half of your tire sticking out. What? The Fuel Hostage had big bolts, split spokes, and screamed, "Hell yeah, put me on your truck." The Fuel Hostage had what, Cody? I was just seeing if you were paying attention. The Fuel Hostage had a lip, a flat lip, flat face, sexy. This was a style that was becoming the norm. A lot of companies were dropping styles with the same concept. Most notably was American Force. These big shiny wheels with their flat spoke faces and big lips became everybody's dream wheel. And guess what? They were full polished aluminum. And American Force offered 14 wides. Kids everywhere knew what their new dream wheel was, and adults just shook their heads as they remembered the good old days when their Weld wheels had the same shiny, forged, polished aluminum and available in 14 wides. It's kind of crazy how these trends seem to cycle. The only difference was these American Forces and then Specialty Ford shortly after had the bigger diameter. They weren't your dad's 16-inch wheels. These bad boys were available in 22s and then 24s, and now at SEMA 2018, 30s. And the widths just seem to keep increasing too. SEMA 2017, American Force introduced 18-inch wide wheels. And then the big thing at SEMA 2018 was the American Force 30x16. But with all of these styles and designs, it seems like another trend is starting to emerge. SEMA 2017 was when Hostile introduced a new concept that the market didn't know they wanted, but ended up being massively successful. So like they ended up wanting it even though they didn't know they wanted it, right? I don't even know if that makes sense, but that's like kind of what happened, okay? So Hostile released the Hostile Alpha, a hybrid wheel. I saw this at SEMA and knew right away that it was gonna be hot. The wheel incorporates the lip style that's popular right now, but now the spokes aren't flat, they're angled in. So it's a concave face wheel that also has a lip to it. There are other companies also offering this, and even American Force offers a whole series lineup of concave wheels that they're very proud of, their concave series. There are even companies like Archon Off-Road that offer the hybrid wheel designs but eliminate the ridge between the spokes, which gives people exactly what they want, a concave face but the biggest lip possible. Without that ridge between the spokes, the lip goes back as far as the wheel. Pretty smart design to allow the best of everything. So now it seems that big lip, big diameter, and/or hybrid styles are super popular. I think the hybrid wheel design style is still on its way into becoming popular, and lots of wheel companies will be dropping new styles and designs to please this ever-changing market of wheel designs. But another interesting offering is becoming more and more popular and not entirely what I expected to see. Off-road wheels, like real off-roading wheels, not mall crawler wheels that say off-road at the end of their name. 17x9s meant for going in the dirt. Companies like Method that have been around forever in the off-road game have been gaining popularity. And then there's all these new companies that previously made and are still continuing to make their mall crawler wheels that are branching out into this off-road lineup. Some of these guys are even making a true beadlock, which we just never really see anyone heavily promoting these days. A split is happening where there's these guys that want small wheels, large tires, and then there's the dudes that want huge wheels and small sidewalls. So who knows where this will go? Is it going to turn back to the styles and sizes offered in the 90s? And will our 24x14s end up being the donk class of the truck world? It's all speculation at this point and looking ahead, but I have a feeling both markets will stay popular and grow for the next 5-ish years. Or who knows, electric trucks might become the new thing and big, heavy, inefficient off-road wheels won't work. I have no idea. What are your thoughts? What does the future hold for custom truck wheels in your opinion? What era was your favorite for custom truck wheels? I've talked too much. I'm gonna go take a nap now. This is Junior with Custom Offsets, and this was the history of custom wheels in the truck scene. Be sure you subscribe on youtube.com/CustomOffsetsTV. Peace.